Welcome! It's a Friday. It is a Firesworn Friday, and we're going to be covering them shortly. So look for that video if you're watching this. But just real quickly, we're going to hash through the 8.5 patch notes. There was a lot that happened, and I don't think that Slama and Burza really gave enough credit for how many changes they're making. And like these are really thoughtful changes, in my opinion. A lot of these cards. I do wish they were a little bit more broad-based, but there's some key changes we're going to go through. So they are making the weaker stratagems stronger. That's cool. Buffing some less popular leaders and making them more versatile. Yeah, less popular is just zero synergy. They now have some synergy. Balancing new cards, released an 8.3 update. It's about freaking time. Here we go. Okay, so new starter decks. So I had a couple of friends who recently started the game, and you get a ton of scraps now. So you can craft a tier 1 deck, like a really good end game deck day 1 now. So if you ever had like a friend or a relative you wanted to invite to the game, do it. I'm gonna also be redoing some of my starter videos as well, just because they've updated these decks. So lots of stuff for me to do. Oh, and my work has been so busy, so I'm sorry you guys haven't seen me lately, but just like, I do this as a hobby, and my real job is very stressful lately. Okay, so stratagems though, let's get to that. So first up, enchanted armor. Ta-da! Boosting it in your hand by 2 and give it 2 armor. I think that's actually going to see a lot of play. I really do. I think it's actually quite a good change. It's like basically as good as Ida, as Ithleen Egli and Triss. Triss is random unit, and Ithleen is Scoia'tael unit. So, she's just any unit, but but they're both boosted by 4. So this is like 1 less boost, but you get 2 armor. So, kind of trades off. Ceremonial Dagger, ability change to order, damage an enemy unit by 3, give it bleeding 2. So I kind of like this as a good like meet in the middle. And you know who else is gonna get some love from all of these changes is Redea. So we'll see if we see her around too. Now Cursed Scroll is also much better. Draw a card of your choice, then put a card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. So being able to put it at the bottom of your deck instead of shuffling it in is a nice change. Armory is now a location, ability change to resilience. Deploy, boost an ally by 6, order, give 3 armor to an allied unit. So I do like that. Makes sense. Much better than the prior card. I like that you can give the boost and the armor separately. I think I would have rather seen this be like all armor from the armory, but I think they had to give it some value. So here we are. Regis changed from 13 to 12. Yeah, but with his initiative, he's still not going to see any play. Glad he's out of the 13 category, though. It makes Alzur better, so check that out. Land of 1,000 Fables is now a location. Ability change to resilience. Deploy, play a special card from your deck. Order, transform a special card in your hand into a random unit of the same provision cost from the same faction. So that's cool. Maybe it'll get some play. I don't know. We'll have to try that out. Could be cool in like an assimilate deck. We'll find out. Same provision cost makes it a little bit tricky, but you might be able to do like a Dazbog Runestone as an example for or Strybog. I always forget which one's Nilfgaard, but whichever one is the Nilfgaard one. That one would be good to flip. It's an alchemy card anyway, so it's not like you get tactic value with it. And it's a random roll anyway for that too. So, up to you. Operator changed from 8 to 7. Cool. Operator has always gotten play. It's not a phenomenal card, but it like works in so many different decks, doing so many different things. He's kind of good. And Eidolon really brought him back out from retirement. Armor's Workshop. Armor changed from 1 to 2. Cool. Not that big of a change. Traveling Merchant, power change from 4 to 5. Still trash. Wagaberg changed from 5 to 4 provisions, I think is really good. Especially for like the card that if you've played Thronebreaker, Wagaberg is like the way to win the game. Like, it's really good and really helpful in Thronebreaker. It's not like the best endgame card, but it's pretty solid the whole way through. Anyway, Irish Shade changed from 10 to 9, which is super cool. So Shade is really cool with Draco Turtle because you can pull off that armor and boost herself. Check out that video coming out Monday. I've already done that deck. I was playing it last night. It's pretty strong right now. I even forgot to put in my Torsic Skirmishers for the discards. Anyway, discard stuff got really cool for Skellige. I'm getting ahead of myself. Murdig Brock, power change from 4 to 5, provisions from 8 to 7. So Murdig Brock is the dragon that does damage to enemies by 2. I think Murdig Brock and Ike have intentional synergy where Ike gets that zeal. Murdig Brock is now much cheaper, so you can include her for a lot fewer, for much more value. So now she's playing 9 for 7 instead of previously she was playing 8 for 8. So I think this is a big change for her. Monsters, Dettlaff von der Eritrean. Initial Blood Moon duration changed from 1 to 2. Cool, because he was trash otherwise. Unseen Elder power changed from 5 to 6. Yeah, because he needed a buff. Honestly, like he was like the one good card that Monsters had. He's nasty, man. 6 points is pretty girthy, too. So, I don't know. He might be... Vampires might actually make a run this season. We'll see. Archspore, getting some love. I know Flake was freaking out about this. Power change from 2 to 4. Ability change to Death Wish. Summon all copies of this unit from your deck to this row. So they just swapped this for Foglet. Don't really understand why Archspore is the one that's like summoning itself, but whatever. I don't know that they thought about that for too long. I kind of wish that like they would have done the Foglet change to Ancient Foglet, because the Death Wish summon yourself and boost is just weird. But anyway, now Foglet, Death Wishes, spawn Fog on opposite row for 3 turns, and Fog has damaged the lowest unit by 2, now that Frost is the highest unit. So, also kind of a weird change for monsters, but whatever. Ancient Foglet, power change from 1 to 4, provisions from 4 to 6, deploy, boost self by total duration of row effects on opposite side. Whenever you apply a row effect, boost self by its duration. So like kind of going back to some of the beta play. I didn't play back then, but a lot of people talk about this as really cool with Foglets. So who knows? Maybe it'll be good. Kind of doubt it. Cyclops is not restricted to melee row anymore. About freaking time. Interesting card. Not game shattering, but he's fun. Maruna power change from 4 to 5. I don't think that she needed a buff, but she got one. Succubus category changed to Relict. Yeah, thank you. That honestly really bothered me for a while. Urn of Shadows, ability change to Order, trigger an allied unit's Death Wish ability. I don't really understand how that one was all that different, but whatever. And then Eridan, power change from 5 to 6. So now he gets a little bit more love. So I think you see Eridan here, Dettlaff, the Foglets. You've seen a lot of kind of these like status effects coming out. Let's see what happens. I'm not really sold on monsters right now. V is still very strong. Yeah, Urn of Shadows is busted, says Ida Sivni on my Twitch chat. Yeah, I don't. They like didn't change it. It's just an order now. I don't understand. Like it's a stratagem. I don't know. Whatever. Reckless Flurry, ability change to Order. Split 3 damage randomly between all enemy units, ignoring their armor. Charges 3. So now you get like 6 damage, but you can use it, or 9 damage instead of 8. But you can use it 3 different times, which is quite clutch for like a dagger revive situation. If you want to use Sigadrifas to get him back again. Dagger is probably the best revivable engine in the game. And this might actually make him really playable. We'll have to see. But like no other faction can revive a 10 provision unit. That's a good engine. Because Renew only does 9. So, you know. I mean, I guess like you could think of Iced, but Iced plays the deploy for value, and you can only use the leader once. Anyway, again, distracting. Mask of Uroboros, number of crows changed from 1 to 2. Mask of Uroboros is now dope. Check out Monday's video. Ability change to Zeal, Order, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you discard a card, damage a random enemy unit by 2. Note that not all of these discards are draw, then discard. So Uroboros gives you draw, then discard, which is good. Gives you 4 points of crows, 2 different crows. So you get beast synergy, you get point value. It's just good. Master Uroboros is legitimately super solid now, in my opinion. Dire Bear now has a new part of ability, Berserk 7, affects only the opposite row. Yeah, I don't know why they did this. I guess they felt like he was OP because they didn't really play him. I don't know. Dire Bear is not great. But whatever. Dire Bear is the one that shuts down enemy boost on the opposite row. So giving it Berserk 7 means it plays for 8, and then if you damage it by 1, then it goes to Berserk, and so it'll only affect the opposite row. So now I guess it affects both rows, and that's supposed to be good. So it's kind of like, but it's like a preemptive Yrden. So your opponent sees it, they can remove it, they can do this, damage it by 1, and you're good to go. So you'd have to like play next to Sucrus or something, and that just is weird. Iced Bloodthirst change from 2 to 3, fine, don't care. Combi plays better with Iced anyway. If you've seen Iced Cock, that video, I do love calling it that, but it is actually good. Dire Bear is really good with Igni, says Ida. I mean, like in theory, but you have to set it all up, and the opponent can kind of see it coming from a mile away. You could like drop it down once the opponent like sets them all the same value, but then you could have just used Igni then anyway. Whatever. Now, like my favorite Igni deck is Visigoda, and there's no way you're gonna change that for me. Crocodile Crate has new part of his ability, damage a unit by 1. No, that is damage a unit, not enemy unit. So this could be really helpful for self-harm decks as well as for opponent damage. Cooldown 2. So I think they're trying to push him out to be played earlier in a round, in a longer round, so you get some engine value off of Croc. Otherwise, it's kind of just all point slam with pirates. So I think this is a good change. Armor Up, that's the one where you damage an enemy unit by 2, then spawn 3 Witchers. Witcher students, damage them each by 1, and then give them all 1 armor. Solid card. 5 to 4 is a big change for that one. Really good in my opinion. Sawbud Totem is now a location, has resilience. Don't know why you'd need that, but cool, you have it now. Bear Witcher Quartermaster now has Zeal. He's just like Sawbud Totem. I want to preserve self-harm for a future round. I don't know. It just feels awkward to me. Bear Witcher Quartermaster now has Zeal. Dope, I guess. He's cool. I mean, the nice thing with him is you can now include him against lockdown decks when you have Lippy and Saris. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing Totem and Self Wound, you usually have enough Self Wound stuff like that. Whenever I play Self Wound, I don't run out of self harm damage. Oh, Mount Sinabung in Indonesia just erupted? Man, that's scary. Ash cloud 2 kilometers into the sky. Man, all while I'm filming. Okay. Well, yeah, hard thoughts and prayers with them. That's intense. I remember when Ilifrigute in Iceland went off and shut down air travel too for forever. We're just gonna push through. We'll cover that after on Twitch. Okay, Terra Crew Plunder, power change from 2 to 3, fine, nice buff. Terra Crew Axe Wither, power change from 2 to 3, fine, nice buff. Still not playable in my opinion, even with Croc. It's just awkward. And it's still random damage on the exposed. But Herald Hound's now moving from 9 to 8 is a big deal. Pretty awesome. I love him with Cultist, Fallbud Cultist. And just like self-damaging each of the skulls in a row. It's quite nice. But Skellige was fine. The one thing that didn't show in here... Oh, I jumped over it. Coral. Coral changed. Coral is now dope. Coral power changed from 5 to 6. Previously, her ability only damaged units when you discard a special card. So you had to like top load with a bunch of specials that you didn't want, which was kind of awkward. She now... does it anytime you discard. So nominally, check out Monday's video, but nominally you want to like play Coral first, then use Mask of Uroboros, then use Burn of Bran, then use, and keep going. There's several discard cards. We're going to get to the neutrals as well, but Iris and Iris Shade. work Iris Companions, and Iris Shade now work really well, where Iris Companions you discard, and you get to choose the card when you have Iris Shade in hand. We're going to get to that. But all of those work super well with Coral. Just lots of damage value and lots of that tempo that you're getting out with Berna and with the Scalds. Northern Realms. I want to love it. I'm not sold yet, but we're going to try this out. We'll see what we can get done. Pincer Maneuver is a big, good change. The boost by 5 was just stupid, unless it was with Arch Griffin, which is what I think they wanted to work with. And Arch Griffin is just clunky, one-time point slam that is just dwarfed by other point slam in the game right now. Iced makes Arch Griffin look like a limp noodle, and the provisions are almost identical. Pincer Maneuver ability change to order. I mean, Arch Griffin did go from 10 to 9, but still. Ability change from order. Draw Northern Realms card of your choice, then shuffle a card from your hand back into the deck, and spawn a volunteer in your melee row. So the volunteer's not going to be boosted, so it's not a ton of synergy with Smoke Them Out, but you do get it out, so you know you're going to get 2 points there, and then you're going to draw the Northern Realm card of your choice, and you get to do that twice. So I think Visigodo charge package just got playable again with this, because you're able to get 2 cards, so you can get like Visigodo and Dandelion, or Visigodo and Dawnamere, stuff like that. Note that it's Northern Realms card. It's not just like a Northern Realms specific thing. So you could also use this with Siege. And you know, you can just top load Siege with a bunch of point value and not go for as much consistency now. So we're going to try it out. We'll see what we can make work. Foltest, power change from 7 to 6. Provisions from 12 to 11. And then he's now a soldier. And then at the end of your turn, boost the unit to the right by 1. So he's more playable, but I don't like from 7 to 6. It's not like he was like really, really good anyway. And he plays well with Pavetta, which doesn't make a ton of lore sense, but whatever. Queen Maeve is now a soldier. New part of ability: when counter reaches 0, boost all allied units by 1 and reset the counter. Whenever this unit receives a boost, gain 1 armor. So I kind of wish that they would have redone her to that the counter could reach 0. Just like the counter went down every time you boosted her. So yeah, I don't know. But she does reset the counter, so that's cool. It's just like you just have to wait a long time. So anyway, we'll try it out. Poor infantry. Power change from 1 to 3. This is actually kind of cool. You'd like swarm the board with these guys. I kind of wish Nilfgaard had this function as well. Then they do with Darelins, but it's not like as spicy. Like this is you get the poor effing infantry, and then you get the left flanking and the right flanking. So it's like 3 different units. I will say that the crap part about this is that you can't use Voimir with them. But I think that might have been the goal. But anyway, you can get a whole bunch of units out all at once, so that's fun. And then Bonded boosts self by 3. So if you get the Bonded value on them, it's cool. Lyrian Arbalest changed from 3 to 4. This is much overdue. I think it should have gone to 4 with 1 armor. But we are where we are. Because Redanian Archers cost the same, and Redanian Archers have that Barricade ability where they get basic... they get charges at the end of every turn so long as they have armor. Arbalest only gets those charges when you play a unit with an order. So, and like Adalia doesn't have an order, so even when you're playing 2 cards with Adalia, you're really only playing 1. So, anyway, it wasn't ever like really good. So I wish I would have given them a little bit more girth, but we are where we are. Just because like it's very similar to me for like a Tactics and Slave deck with Fire Scorpions. Lyrian Arbalest and Fire Scorpions are kind of the same. Or Imperia Enforcers. Whenever you play a spying unit or whenever you play a tactic, you get a charge. And it should be the same, so he should have an armor as well. That just doesn't make sense why Nilfgaard gets the love, but Northern Realms doesn't in that regard. Siege Tower Vitality and boost change from 3 to 4, fine, whatever. Inspired Zeal boost change from 1 to 2, that's cool, but not all that meaningful. Kuin is the one thing that maybe could work. It's easy to get 5s as long as the opponent doesn't do anything to your side of the board. So theoretically, you could boost Cohen. Cohen already gets Zeal though, so it's kind of weird. But you can tutor him out with Amphib out at 5. So Scoia'tael, Invigorate, boosts 5 units in your hand by 1, charges 2. You no longer have to build an Invigorate deck with all units, and you can use it over 2 turns. So that's cool. Great Oak changed from 7 to 8. Cool, whatever. It is a really good card in like Arena. So maybe we'll see that get a bit, or I guess they're calling it draft now. Hopefully that gets some overwork still. Scoia'tael Neophyte is really cool rework here. Now they still spawn 2 of them, and then each of them get this order where they transform an allied elf into an elven deadeye. So nominally you can play like 6 or 4, but you can convert damaged units, right? The weird thing is that there's not that many like great low powered elves, so it's kind of a little clunky in that way. But it is a cool idea in theory, and like theoretically, if you played 4 of them, you could kind of like share it between them and get them all converted except for 1. So that'd be fun. Uroboros now gets an order with Zeal, 2 charges he can convert. So now you can like do 1 turn and 1 the next turn, I guess. Up to you. Brighthead Vanguard. I think this makes it. Honestly, I think this change for Munro is to play against. Make him playable against Swarm, Arrakis Swarm. So that way you can like play down Figgis, get the Rowdy Dwarf, and then you can play Munro and convert that Rowdy Dwarf, and then you can play Zoltan's Company and convert another one, something like that. But yeah, still a little awkward. Then he's not my favorite. Brighthead Vanguard, power change from 1 to 2. This is stupid in my opinion. It's still a trash card. Halfling Safecrackers are still better. But whatever. And Brighthead Vanguard are the ones that deploy boost self by the number of elves in your hand. So if you're playing like an all-elf deck, they're fine, but it's clunky. Catwitcher Adept, power change from 3 to 4. Fine, Adept was kind of trash, but if you like get the Sabertooth is kind of cool with that one, where it like reappears on the row. Try it out, it's fun. Nilfgaard, Morvran Voorhees, power change from 6 to 7. Like that changed his leader to playable. Lockdown Provision changed from 13 to 14. I like that, makes them playable. Munro dies to Arnagod, says Ida. Yeah, now he doesn't get deployed. Good point. So yeah, now you can't. Well, you don't usually play Munro late anyway, so usually play it early in the long round. Damien Delator, power change from 5 to 6. It's about freaking time. Stefan Skellen, power change from 10 to 9. Huge deal, in my opinion. He is now renewable. Think about that. Vreemed, provision change from 7 to 6. About time. Vergriff, power change from 3 to 4. About time. Wait for Slav Squirrel to make us the perfect Soldier Swarm deck, and we'll post that up next Thursday. Vivian de Debris, change from 3 to 4. Masquerade Ball, we all know this news. Masquerade Ball will now only progress for aristocrats played on your own side of the battlefield. Kind of about time. This was so long overdue. I know some people are like, Getty's really good. No, it's not. You can't double proc in 1 turn. So it's about freaking time they did this. Honestly, they should have just removed aristocrat tags on Joachim and Roderick and had done with it. Oh, whatever. Amir Var Emres, ability to change to Zeal, draw a card, then move a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Whenever an opponent plays a unit, give it Spying. Order sees a 1-powered enemy unit with Spying. Devotion at the end of your turn. Refresh this card's order. So I kind of like this because you get to target which unit you want it to be. This is really helpful for the Septa Joachim deck. If you haven't seen that, go check out that video. Then Combat Engineers, now Soldier, 3 to 4. Huge change. Just kidding. Total trash. Don't worry about it. Knight Toussaint Errant. I can talk. Power change from 2 to 3. Cool. Whatever. Nobody cares. Still trash card. Rico Myers, he does more damage to units with armor. Whatever. Rico Meyersdorf will now also change his power when he is in the deck. Dope. Also a Syndicate card. Rico is straight good against V, by the way. Syndicate, Back Alley Chemist, ability change to Zeal order, give an allied unit poison and gain 2 coins. So I like that you're able to use it as an order. But it's only 2 coins. Was it always 2 coins? I thought it was 3, but maybe I'm wrong. Horse Borsodi, now he has a fee to give vitality. I do think that Horst is better than Evolved, which bothers me. But you know, whatever. Hey, what's up, Yoso J? Yosoi J. Best card in the game? I don't know. Let me think about that. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Salamandra Mage is now a mage. People were really bothered about that. Glad they changed it. Roland Blenheim. Tooltip now correctly specifies that a unit needs to gain poison in order to get coins. I think everybody kind of had that figured out. Cleaver is now hard countered by Skellige on Great Longships. Honestly, I think they should have done like 1 power, 1 armor. They do this to Syndicate where they buff it to the moon and then they nerf it into the ground. Like you can't. Halfling Safecrackers and Cleaver together made the deck tier 0. Now it's tier 3. Like it really bothers me. Really bothers me. Just like find the happy middle ground. Whoreson Jr. ability change to Insanity, so now he can damage himself, but he can only do it once because he's only 6 power, so because his fee is 3. So Insanity's a little weird on him in my opinion, but whatever. Deploy, damage boosts enemy by 6, gain coin for every excess, all that's the same. Devotion, damage an enemy unit instead. So now he gets the devotion where he doesn't have to be boosted, so that's cool. And then Halfling Safecracker. You're talking about Back Alley Chemist. Back Alley Chemist was boost. Boost too. Okay, I believe you. Halfling Safecracker removed Intimidate. Power change from 3 to 4. Use Sausage Maker instead. Sausage Maker is awesome. Damnation Provisions Chains is fine. The card is it should be 6 in my opinion. It's so hard to trade. It can trade for 12 points of value, but it's so difficult. Like Sabrina's Inferno is easier to get to trade for 12 points of value than Damnation is. For those of you not aware, you play the card, damages 3 units next to each other by 2. For each death blow, you spawn a 2-point Firesworn Zealot on the opposite row, so on your side. So, like, you can do 6 points of damage for 6 points of Zealots, but it's tricky, man. Greater Brothers, armor change from 4 to 5. So Greater Brothers is like the 10-point unit for Syndicate, where if they get exposed, they die. So they're kind of like a mix between Dire Mutated Hound and Ichor, where they can give themselves armor by paying a fee, and they also have Insanity too, so they can like self-damage to put armor on, which is kind of cool. They're kind of a cool card. Salamandra just doesn't have that much like synergy, other than like some of the card like Assault and the mutations, the mutagens, stolen mutagens. Other than that, there's not that much like internal Salamandra synergy. Like even Jacques is Salamandra, like Grandmaster, and he only gets 1 coin whenever you play Firesworn. It's kind of weird. Professor, damage change from 3 to 4, fine. You can ignore armor by paying a tribute, which is fine, not great. Pirate's Cove, ability change to order, spawn Sea Jackal on an allied row, charges 2. Now you get the Sea Jackal twice. Honestly, I think it makes more sense. I still don't love it. I just think Sea Jackal. I know a lot of people love Sea Jackal. I do not. I do not think he is a great ROI. He is like super susceptible to resets or removal, to locks, whatever. It's just clunky. Boris changed from 3 to 5. Stupid card still. Barely meeting its provision cost there. Grand Inquisitor Helvede, power change from 5 to 6, so now he has a little bit more staying power. Keeper of the Flame, boost adjacent units by 1, tribute 4, boost all units in the row by 1, decrease the card's tribute for every allied cleric, which is pretty cool. Sacred Flame added Firespawn category, about time. Tiger's Eye, number of coins changed from 4 to 5, also about time. Tiger's Eye was always good, but 4 was not as good as 5. New features support 60 frames per second on Apple M1 chips. Users can switch between 30 and 60 via options, so that's cool. Meet Triss and Conwirmur's Tilly, powerful mage and talented seer. Cool rewards, all that great stuff. And then we're going to show you guys starter decks and new series. And then some game fixes. Reuven did have this problem. Will no longer count the unique gangs from its original deck when played by the opponent through Cantarella. A lot of the other ones are kind of like mediocre, but Garrett is a long time coming. They needed to fix that for like 2 months now. We'll see. I still haven't seen reports from people saying if it's working or not yet, but that took them a long time to fix. And Dandelion Vainglory can now kill Sabertooth Tiger Stealth if you want to include that in your deck. Not that many beasts running around these days. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And until next time, good luck on the path. Get out there, keep on Gwenting. Bye for now.